Hi everyone, this is Haley and I am going to show you how to make some cauliflower fried rice. Now I've been trying to do clean eating and I have lost several pounds and several inches, so I'm very proud of myself. And this is one of the indulgent recipes that I absolutely love, and I was really surprised. I have a hard time eating vegetables throughout the day, and this is just jam-packed full of vegetables, so you can easily do a combination of different kinds of vegetables, which is exactly what we're going to show you here today, in order to get your vegetable intake. So what I have here is our healthy fat. I have some olive oil in a pan here, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn that on, probably about between medium low. And I have some chopped up garlic here. And I like chopping up my garlic and using the press. I do like some of the chunkier pieces of garlic that you get by chopping it by hand. So that's what this is. And then we're going to go ahead and stick that in the pan with the oil to heat up and get all yummy. And then I'm going to take my last little garlic clove here and put it in my garlic press and just put it in there. Now, you can use as much or as little garlic as you want. I personally love garlic, so that is why we are using 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, so that's in there. We're going to let that get nice and hot for us. In the meantime, I've been over here working on chopping up some vegetables. Here I have carrots. Now, 10 baby carrots are about 1 serving of vegetables, so I used 5 because I'm doing a combination between carrots and some spinach. So, the way I cut my baby carrots for this is I cut it in half and then lay it on the flat side so it's easier to cut. And then I cut it in thirds. Again, carrots aren't my favorite vegetable, so I like them in small pieces. If you like them, then you can go ahead and just cut them in discs or however you prefer. I would suggest cutting them at least a little bit because you'll need them to cook down and soften up a little bit, and if they're whole, that's going to be a lot harder for them. You can even just julienne them, whatever you want to do. It's your meal. Okay, so I'll put those in my little carrot dish here. Now, peas are considered a healthy carb, and so I have about half a cup of frozen peas here, which is about a half a serving of healthy carbs. So we're going to go ahead and be adding that as well. And in here I already have some spinach that I had I've thawed the spinach, defrosted it, so to speak. And so I'm just going to take about a half a cup of that and get rid of the extra liquid. And some people do it by squeezing it in like a paper towel or a dish rag. Dish rags, it turns green, so I'm just going to squeeze it in my hand into the sink. Let's say just a tad bit more here. And that's like a lot of juice, right? Alright. So as you know, this is already probably shredded to some degree. So I'm just going to take my knife here and make ribbon cuts out of it. Just like you would do if it was a fresh herb. Just to kind of get it into more manageable bite-sized pieces. This recipe is super simple. Alright, so here is my shredded spinach. I already have 2 cups of cauliflower. Now, the cauliflower, I measured 2 cups of the florets before I chopped it up into the, or riced the cauliflower in my food processor. You can grate it if you want, but I find that very messy and somewhat time consuming. So we're going to go ahead and I just went ahead and did it in my food processor. All right. And then the other thing that I did in my food processor that's new this time for me is I chopped up some cabbage that I'm going to go ahead and include in this as well. So check on our garlic here. It smells amazing. Alright, so once you can kind of smell it, you want to sweat it, you don't want to burn it. Once you start burning your garlic, what's going to happen is it'll get bitter, and you don't want to do that. So to this, I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots. And the reason I'm adding my carrots first is because they are the hardest vegetable that I am working with right now, that are going to need to cook the most. So get that tossed around nicely in the garlic and olive oil. Now, once you guys try this, I mean, there's so many, again, so many combinations of this that you can do. So feel free to leave comments or pictures of yours below. Tell me what you like or didn't like about it. But like I said, this is absolutely the most delicious thing that I've had in a long time. It's a nice change, and again, it's a good way to get all of your vegetables in there. So once that's cooked a little bit, I know it's only been on there for a few seconds, like probably close to a minute maybe now. And you can kind of already feel them sweating out a little bit where they're a little bit softer. So to that, I'm going to add about, oh, I don't know, let's just grab a handful and take a guess here. I'd say that's about a half a cup. Let's go ahead and add a full. About 3/4 to a cup of the cabbage. Now, you don't want to add any salt to this because your low sodium soy sauce is going to be salty enough. Once that's nice and coated, get this big piece out of there. That garlic smells so good. Okay, so to that, I'm going to add our cauliflower. Now, mind you, people, this is one serving of cauliflower, which is quite a bit. But if you put this with like a 3-ounce piece of chicken, it's so good. It's light. It fills you up, but you don't feel that heavy feeling like you would with like rice. Okay. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit to just above medium. Okay, so while that's going, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add my peas. Because they're frozen, they're going to add a little bit of moisture as well. You hear that sizzle? And it's so colorful and pretty with all of the vegetables in here. So great. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to add our spinach. Now again, you can, make this your own. If you don't like spinach, use kale or anything that you want. The point is, this recipe is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I already have like 2 servings of vegetables in here. between the carrots and the spinach and then the cauliflower. You know, and if this is too much, then just remember that you're using a half a serving for your cauliflower, so throw in some more carrots or something like that to get your 2 servings of it in there. Okay, so that's kind of wilted down a little bit. You can see the steam coming off of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a well right in the middle of our fried rice. And now we're going to get an egg. So here's my egg, and I'm going to crack it. And grab a fork and just beat it before I put it in there. That's good enough. And stick it right in the middle of that well, and that egg is going to cook up nicely. Once you start to see the bottom of the egg turn white, that's when you want to start to scramble it out of there. Okay, and there it goes. It's cooking away. Now we're going to mix it all together with our vegetables. And your egg counts as half of your protein serving, so if you're doing this with chicken, you can use 1 egg. If you don't have chicken, use 2 eggs, and I'll get both of your proteins in there. You can do all of it. Just remember, then that's 2 of your servings of protein for the day. Okay. Now that that's all mixed in there, and again, you can tell, like, the texture when you feel it with your spoon, it's not going to be soft and squishy. It's still going to be a little crunchy, but you can tell that it's softening up a little bit. And so lastly to this, what we're going to add is 1.5 tablespoons of reduced sodium soy sauce. Now, you can use peanut oil or some other kind of substitute if you don't want the sodium that you're going to get from the soy sauce. I am using the low sodium specifically for that purpose, but it just gives it that classic stir-fry flavor, fried rice flavor that you're looking for. So it smells so amazing. Can you smell that? I don't know if you can, but it's absolutely wonderful. Now, once you have that all mixed together, you are done, and you can serve it right away, or you can put it in a container for your lunch. If you have a really big pan type thing, you can make this as your meal prep and just make, you know, rounds and rounds and rounds of it for the week. I've never froze this, so I don't know if that's going to change the texture at all, but I have warmed it up and had it as leftovers, and it worked wonderfully. It stayed nice and crunchy, so there you go. I hope you guys absolutely enjoy this recipe. Please let me know what you think below. Thanks. Bye.